Today, for the Series 6 exam, we will cover employer-sponsored retirement plans, specifically focusing on 401k, 403b, and 457 plans. The exam will expect you to know the fundamental differences between these plans, who is eligible for them, and how features like employer matching and vesting work. Let's start with the most common plan, the 401k. This is the primary retirement plan offered by for-profit corporations. Employees can contribute a portion of their salary on a pre-tax basis, lowering their immediate taxable income. The exam often tests your knowledge of who uses which plan. Next is the 403b plan. These are functionally very similar to 401ks, but are for employees of public schools, colleges, nonprofits, and religious organizations. Think of teachers and hospital workers. Finally, there are 457 plans, which are deferred compensation plans for employees of state and local governments and certain tax-exempt organizations. A simple way to remember this is our mnemonic for the day. 401k is for corporations, 403b is for the beneficent or benevolent organizations, and 457 plans are for government workers who keep things running nearly 24/7, so think 457. A major feature of these plans, and a frequent topic for exam questions, is the concept of employer matching. This is when an employer contributes to your account, typically based on a percentage of your own contributions. For instance, an employer might match 100% of your contributions up to 3% of your salary. This is essentially free money and a powerful incentive to save. The Series 6 exam won't ask you to memorize the annual contribution limits as they change, but it will test the mechanics. For example, a question might describe a matching formula and ask you to calculate the total contribution if an employee earning a certain salary contributes a specific percentage. This brings us to vesting, which is a critical concept tied to employer matching. Vesting determines when you have full ownership of your employer's contributions. A very common trap for test takers is to misunderstand what vesting applies to. You are always, from day one, 100% vested in your own contributions. Vesting schedules only apply to the money your employer puts in. The two main types of vesting schedules you'll see are cliff vesting and graded vesting. With 3-year cliff vesting, you become 100% vested in all employer contributions after 3 years of service. If you leave after 2 years and 11 months, you get nothing of the employer's match. A graded or gradual vesting schedule gives you ownership over time. For example, a 5-year graded schedule might give you 20% ownership after year 1, 40% after year 2, and so on, until you are fully vested after 5 years. An exam question might give you a scenario. An employee leaves a company with a 5-year graded vesting schedule after 3 years of service. The employer has contributed $6,000. How much is the employee entitled to? The answer would be 60% of $6,000, which is $3,600. Understanding this calculation and the fundamental rule that vesting only applies to employer funds will prevent you from falling for common exam traps.